The New York City Civil Service exams are standardized assessments administered by New York City Department of Citywide Administration Services, DCAS. These exams are used to determine the eligibility and qualifications of individuals seeking employment in various civil service positions within New York City government. These exams are a critical component of the hiring process for government jobs in New York City, and they aim to ensure fair, transparent, and merit-based recruitment. New York City civil service exams cover a wide range of job roles and professions in New York City, including administrative, clerical, technical, professional, law enforcement, healthcare, and a lot of others. New York City DCAS exams are tailored to the specific requirements of each job position, assessing candidates' knowledge, skills, and abilities relevant to this particular role. New York City civil service exams are an essential part of promoting diversity and equal opportunity in city government hiring. Candidates who pass these exams and meet other job-specific criteria are placed in eligible lists which city agencies use to fill vacancies. The eligible list provide New York City hiring managers with a pool of qualified candidates from which to select, ensuring that the hiring decisions are made fairly and in line with principles of civil service. Hi there, this is Vadim from Online Training for Everyone, and in this video you will have everything you need to get prepared and pass an assessment test. Make sure to watch this video from the beginning to end, and if necessary, multiple times until you understand all the questions and know how to solve them easily. If this video was helpful and you decide to give this video a like, you will help YouTube algorithm to recommend it to others, and we would greatly appreciate it. And if you choose to subscribe to Online Training for Everyone, you will find relevant videos to help you get ahead in your career and will be able to improve your intelligence, IQ, and get ready and pass any test. One important note: if you would like to practice with the most recent questions for this particular assessment, make sure to check the links in the descriptions and in comments of this video to know about the premium options to get you prepared. And now let's go ahead and get started so we can get you ready for the assessment test. Here's an amazing question which tests your knowledge of objects, their properties, and the way they move from the top of the hill down to the ground. You're presented with 3 different objects, and you need to determine which object will reach ground first when pushed to slide from the top of the hill. You have 4 possible choices to select from. Choice A, wheel. Choice B, wooden box. Choice C, sticky substance. And last but not least, choice D, they all reach the ground at the same time. Take a close look, maybe pause this video to see if you can come up with the answer. On my end, I have my selection, so I'm moving forward to share with you my version of the answer. And obviously, if you have a better way to solve it, please make sure to post in comments. To determine the answer, let's look at each object individually. This will help us decide all the considerations related to their sliding from the top of the hill down to the ground. Let's start with the cube. Cube's shape may cause it to experience higher levels of friction against the slide, slowing its descent. But at the same time, sticky substance may move even slower, because the behavior of sticky substance will largely depend on its viscosity and adhesive properties. If the substance is highly viscous and adheres strongly to the slide, it may experience significant resistance, and it will take much longer for it to reach the ground. In some scenarios, depending upon viscosity, the sticky substance may never reach the ground at all. Based on this, I think most likely sticky substance will be the slowest in reaching down the bottom of the slide, followed by the cube, which would be second in sliding down. So, as you might have guessed, I am putting my bets on the wheel. I think wheel's rolling motion will help reduce friction with the slide, allowing wheel to move more smoothly. This is why the wheel may reach the ground faster than all other objects. This is why I think the correct answer is choice A, wheel, because the wheel will roll and will have minimum friction to reach the ground. Did you come to the different conclusion? If yes, please make sure to post your answer, solution, and rationale in comments so we can all learn. Here's the tricky question, but not for you, as I have full confidence that you will be able to solve it. You need to rearrange the words to form a coherent sentence, and then determine the last word of this sentence. The words are bush, brown, the, jumps, over, fox, quick, the. Take a close look to see if you can come up with the answer. Do you have your answer ready? Because I'm moving forward to share with you my version of the solution. And obviously, if you have a better way to solve it, please make sure to post in comments. Let me share with you a secret. I'm going to share with you how you can solve this challenge in 3 simple steps. The steps are: identify the subject and verb, build the sentence, and then verify the last word. Let's go step by step to solve this challenge so you will see an example. The first step here is to identify the subject and verb. You need to look closely at the subject, who and what in the sentence is all about, and verbs, actions or states of being. In this particular case, fox jumps is the subject-verb combination that suggests a potential starting point for the sentence. Second step is to build the sentence. You do it by placing the subject and verb in the appropriate order and then arranging the remaining words to create a logical and grammatically correct sentence. The sentence here is, the quick brown fox jumps over the bush. Then in step 3, you verify the last word. Pay attention to the last word of the sentence. In our case, the word bush is the last word of coherent sentence, and this is the choice A. Let's recap. The complete sentence is, the quick brown fox jumps over the bush. And the last word in this sentence is choice A, bush. Did you get to the same solution? If not, please make sure to post your answer and rationale in comments. Here's an amazing question with the answer that will definitely surprise you. You're presented with the circle broken down into the 8 parts. Each part has letters inside, and letters are O, S, then comes the missing letter, T, another missing letter, O, another missing letter, and ends in P. You need to complete the object by selecting the choice of 3 grouped letters. Choice A is represented by letters I, E. Choice B is represented by letters T, N. Choice C is represented by letters E, N. And last but not least, choice D is formed by the letters of I, N. Take a close look to see if you can complete the object. I'm going to give you a quick hint to help you solve it. Take a close look what happens if you move clockwise. I'm pretty sure you are by now, so I'm moving forward to share with you my version of the answer. And obviously, if you have a better way to solve it, please make sure to post in comments. What's interesting about this question is how amazingly simple the solution is. If we start with the letter P, we can form a word, position. Let me spell it for you. P-O-S-I-T-I-O-N. Let me pinpoint 3 considerations that will help you solve these types of problems on the test. When you look at the question is complete the object, and letters are the choices, which most of the time would mean that you need to form the word. Circle shape in the original question mimics the clock, which a lot of times mean that you need to select the direction, which could be clockwise or counterclockwise. To solve these types of challenges, you typically need to look at consecutive letters that are already present. So the 3 consecutive letters that are present are P-O-S, which would kick off your thinking about the word position. As you might have guessed by now, the correct choice here is choice D, letters I-N, which help you to form the word position. Did you come up with the different answer? Or maybe you have other tips on how to solve these types of challenges? Please make sure to post in comments. Here's an amazing question to test your analytical skills. You're presented with 2 statements. The first statement is, some dogs are brown. The second statement is, some dogs are big. Assuming that the first 2 statements are true, is the final statement is also true. Here's the final statement. At least one dog is big and brown. And you're presented with 3 different choices to choose from. Choice A, yes. Choice B, no. And last but not least, choice C, uncertain. Take a close look, maybe pause this video to analyze the statements to determine the right answer. On my end, I know the answer I am going to reveal, so I'm moving forward to share with you my version of the answer. And obviously, if you have a better way to solve it, please make sure to post in comments. What's important to know about these types of questions is that you can only make conclusions based on the information provided in the statements. which means that if something must be true in the real life, but not supported by the first two statements, we cannot conclude that it is true based on the question asked. So let's look at the first two statements. It is possible that the dogs are brown, but at the same time, they are not big, because statements do not definitively conclude any of this information. What the statements do establish is the existence of brown dogs and big dogs separately, which means that the information provided in the first two statements does not support the conclusion that there is at least one dog that is both big and brown. This is why the final statement cannot be considered true based on the given information. So the correct answer is choice B, no. Did you come up with the same conclusion? If not, please make sure to post your solution and rationale in comments so we can all learn. In this section, we will look at numerical reasoning test questions frequently used in a test. Numerical reasoning assessment test is a standardized evaluation designed to assess individuals' ability to understand and work with numerical data, make calculations, interpret charts and graphs, and draw conclusions from quantitative information. The typical content of numerical reasoning test can vary, but often include topics such as basic arithmetic, percentage and ratios, data interpretation, financial analysis, mathematical problem solving, number sequences, and a lot of others. Let's look at some sample numerical reasoning assessment test questions we typically see on the test. Here's one of my favorite questions to test your analytical skills and attention to details. You need to determine which of the values is the smallest. And you're presented with 5 different values. The choices are A, 3/4, choice B, 0.6, choice C, 7/12, choice D, 0.7, and last but not least, choice E, 4/5. Take a close look to see if you can come up with the answer. Did you figure it out? I am moving forward to share with you my version of the answer. And obviously, if you have a better way to solve it, please make sure to post in comments. To get to the correct answer, we need to convert all the values to the common format. You can convert all the values to decimals, or you convert all the values to fractions. It doesn't matter, but it has to be common. I chose decimal format. 3/4 in decimal is 0.75. 0.6 is 0.6. And 7/12 is 0.583. 0.7 has the same value, and 4/5 is 0.8. Now you can easily see that the smallest value is choice C, 7/12, which is approximately as 0.58333. Did you get to the similar solution? If not, please make sure to post your answer and solution in comments. This is one of my favorite questions because it tests your analytical skills as well as your abilities to identify sequences. You're presented with the series of numbers, and you need to identify the pattern and select the option that completes the series. Take a close look at the numbers. The numbers are 2, 5, 9, 14, and 20 in the first row. Second row is 3, 6, 10, 15, and 21. The third row is 4, 8, 13, 19, and 26. And last but not least, the fourth row has the series of numbers 1, 2, 4, 7, 11, and then comes the missing number. You need to detect the pattern and select the missing number out of 4 possible choices. Choice A, 17. Choice B, 16. Choice C, 23. And last but not least, choice D, 18. Take a close look to see if you can come up with the solution. Are you ready? Because I already found my solution, so I'm moving forward to share with you my version of the answer. And obviously, if you have a better way to solve it, please make sure to post in comments. The key to solve these types of challenges is obviously to identify the pattern and not to overthink it. If we look at the series of numbers, we have 4 independent rows, and each row represents an independent sequence which follows the same pattern. So what is the pattern? And the pattern here is rather simple. The next number is calculated as previous number plus the increment. An increment increases by 1 with each subsequent number. Let's look at the example on how calculations are done for the first row of numbers. In the first calculation, the increment is 3. 2 plus 3 equals 5. Then increment increases by 1, and from 3 becomes 4, which means 5 plus 4 equals 9. Then increment increases again, and 9 plus 5 equals 14. 14 plus 6 equals 20. I'm going to skip rows 2 and 3 so you can do calculations independently to practice your skills, but I am going to do the calculations for the last row. 1 plus 1 equals 2. Increment increases by 1, so 2 plus 2 equals 4. 4 plus 3 equals 7. 7 plus 4 equals 11. And last calculation, 11 plus 5 equals 16. So the correct answer here is choice A, 16. Did you get to the same answer? If not, maybe you have a better way to solve it, so please make sure to post in comments so we can all learn. In this section, we will look at some sample mechanical aptitude questions you typically see on the test. A mechanical aptitude test is an assessment designed to measure a person's understanding of mechanical principles and the ability to apply them in various situations. Mechanical aptitude tests typically assess several key areas, including mechanical comprehensions questions, which gauge your understanding of basic mechanical principles such as gears, pulleys, levers, and simple machines. You also get spatial reasoning questions in this test, which assess your ability to mentally manipulate the objects in three-dimensional space. Some questions focus on tools and instruments, and they evaluate your familiarity with common tools and instruments used in mechanical work. And last but not least category is mechanical problem-solving questions, which present you with mechanical problems or scenarios and test your ability to analyze and solve them. Let's look at some sample mechanical aptitude questions we typically see on the test. I love this question because it truly tests your knowledge of mechanical engineering. You are presented with acrobat and the weight on a seesaw. You need to determine in which direction should the acrobat move his body to balance the seesaw. And you only have two choices, choice A to the left or choice B to the right. Take a close look to see if you can come up with the answer. On my end, I am moving forward to share with you my version of the answer. And obviously, if you have a better way to solve it, please make sure to post in comments. As you might be well aware, the seesaw is an example of a lever, where fulcrum is between the effort and the load. In our example, we have a weight on the left side of the seesaw and acrobat on the right side of the seesaw. The key principle of balancing the seesaw is when a force is applied to the end of the lever can lift the weight at the other end. For the seesaw to be balanced, the torque applied to the acrobat must increase. Since the acrobat's weight is constant, the only way to increase the input torque is by increasing the distance from the fulcrum. If acrobat moves in the direction B, this will shift the acrobat's center of gravity further from the fulcrum, resulting in a greater torque, thereby balancing it. So the correct answer here is choice B, moving the acrobat to the right. This is one of the most exciting questions because it allows you to test your analytical skills and understanding of physics. You need to determine which fan throws more air if all the fans rotate at the same speed. The choices are fan A, fan B, fan C, and last but not least, choice D, neither fan. Take a close look to see if you can come up with the answer. Are you ready? I am moving forward to share with you my version of the answer. And if you have a better way to solve it, please make sure to post in comments. As you might be well aware, there are two key factors to help determine the airflow rate. The first one is the size of the fan's blade, and the second one is rotational speed of the fan, which is measured in RPMs, which stands for revolution per minute. A fan with the larger blades can capture and move more air per revolution compared to the same fan design with the smaller blades. And this is exactly what we're dealing with here in this question. In addition, the rotational speed of the fan affects the airflow design. The higher RPM generally results in a higher airflow rate as the fan blades are able to move through the air at the faster rate. As you can see here, the fans A, B, and C all have the same design. This is why, given the fact that three fans have the same design but different sizes, the fan with the largest size will throw more air compared to the smaller fans. This is why the correct answer here is choice C. Did you get to the same answer? If not, please share your answer and rationale in comments. And now I have a question for you to practice your skills. We have three different scenarios of person moving the object. Choices A, B, and C. If all items weighed the same, which object would be easiest to move forward if the same person is pushing with equal force? You need to select one out of 4 possible choices. Choices A, B, C, or choice D, neither one. When you solve this challenge, please make sure to post your answer in comments so I can give you my feedback. Thanks for participating and good luck. In this section, we will look at electrical skills questions we frequently see on the test. The electrical assessment may include various types of questions, tasks, and scenarios that gauge candidates' understanding of electrical principles, troubleshooting skills, and practical applications. Some typical types of questions might include theory and concept, where candidate might be tested on their understanding of electrical theories, concepts, and fundamental principles. Another popular one is circuit analysis, where a candidate could be presented with the circuit diagram and asked to analyze or troubleshoot them. This might involve identifying components, determining voltages and currents, and predicting circuit behavior. Last but not least type of question could be problem solving, where scenarios involving electrical issues or malfunctioning may be presented, and candidate may be asked to diagnose and propose solutions to these problems. Let's look at some sample electrical skill questions we frequently see on the test. Here's an amazing question to test your electrical skills, specifically your knowledge of electrical circuits. In the circuit shown, how many switches need to be closed to light up at least one bulb? You're presented with the circuit, and you need to select 1 out of 5 possible choices. Choice A, none. Choice B, 1. Choice C, 2. Choice D, 3. And last but not least, choice E, 4 switches. Take a close look to see if you can come up with the answer. The key here is not to overthink the problem. So I'm moving forward to share with you my version of the answer. And obviously, if you have a better way to solve it, please make sure to post in comments. The key to solve these types of challenges is not to overthink the problem. Let's start with the definitions. We're dealing with multiple devices here. So let's look how do we define each one of them. Let's start with the battery. Battery is a device that converts stored chemical energy into electrical energy and provides the necessary voltage to drive the current through the circuit. Next one on the list is the light bulb. It's an electrical device that emits lights, producing visible illumination. We have 4 of these light bulbs, so let's give each one unique ID. We'll call them L1, L2, L3, and L4. We also have 4 switches, and switch represents a device that's designed to control the flow of electric current through the circuit. Switch can either complete the circuit in its closed position or break the circuit in its open position, enabling or interrupting the flow of electricity. Since we have 4 of them, let's give each switch unique ID. We'll call them S1, S2, S3, and S4. And last concept that we're dealing with here is concept of circuit. Circuit is a defined pathway or route through which electric current can flow, connecting various components and allowing the transfer of electrical energy. Our circuit consists of 1 battery, 4 light bulbs, 4 switches, and all the conductors that connect these devices. To better understand how we should answer this question, let's understand how simple circuit works. Simple circuit contains only 1 light bulb, 1 switch, 1 battery, and conductors connecting these devices. When the switch in a circuit with 1 switch and 1 bulb is closed, it allows the flow of electric current to pass through the circuit. In this state, the bulb lights up due to the passage of electrical current. When we open the switch, it breaks the circuit's continuity. As a result, the current stops flowing, and the bulb turns off because there is no electricity that reaches it. Now, with the understanding of the simple circuit, let's go back to the original question. I think that at least 2 switches need to be closed to light up at least 1 bulb in the circuit shown. And one of the closed switches must be S1. When switch S1 in the circuit is closed, it allows the flow from the negative battery terminal to be connected. In addition, any one of the switches S2, S3, or S4 need to be closed as well to create the flow of electricity, but at least one of them should be closed to light up at least 1 bulb. In this state, the bulb lights up due to the passage of electric current. So the correct answer here is choice C, 2 switches. I also have a question for you. If switches S1 and S3 are closed, how many light bulbs will light up? And which ones are they going to be? Please make sure to post your answer and solution and rationale in comments so I can give you my feedback. In this section, we will look at Microsoft Excel questions frequently used in a test. Microsoft Excel test is a standardized assessment designed to measure an individual's proficiency in using this powerful spreadsheet software application. This test assesses a candidate's knowledge and skills in various Excel functions, formulas, data manipulation, formatting, and data analysis. It is commonly used by employers during the hiring process to determine a candidate's level of Excel proficiency. This assessment typically includes a variety of Excel tasks and exercises that range from basic to more advanced functionalities within Microsoft Excel. These tasks might involve creating and formatting spreadsheets, performing calculations using formulas and functions, managing data sets, creating charts and graphs, and demonstrating an understanding of data analysis techniques. Let's look at some sample Microsoft Excel test questions we typically see on the test. Here's an amazing question to test your knowledge of frequently used Microsoft Excel functions. Lakshmi needs to determine the smallest quarterly sales amount for 2023. Which of the following formulas can she use in Microsoft Excel to accomplish this? You're presented with the snippet of data, and you have 4 different choices to choose from. Formula min, and then you have values in parentheses, table B3 through table E6. Choice B, min fs, and then value in parentheses B3 through E6. Choice C, min a, B3 through E6 in parentheses, and last but not least, choice D, min B3 through E6. Take a close look, maybe pause this video to see if you can come up with the solution. On my end, I'm going to jump to Microsoft Excel to share with you my version, and obviously if you have a better way to solve it, please make sure to post in comments. I believe the correct answer here is choice D, using min function and then in parentheses supplying argument B3 through E6. To understand the answer, let's look at the data. We have source data for quarterly sales located in the range B3 through E6. We have 4 salespeople on the left, and then we have quarterly sales represented in the row 2. Min function returns the minimum value in the range of cells, and it can be used to determine the smallest quarterly amount for 2023. Since the formula is correct and the range of cells selected is correct, min function will calculate the smallest amount, and smallest amount is equals to 153.11. To reinforce the knowledge, let's also look at the incorrect answers to better understand why they are incorrect. Choice A is incorrect because it does not return the valid results. Let's try it. You see that the syntax is not correct. Choice B, min ifs function, sends the incorrect number of arguments into the function and thus generates an error. You've entered too few arguments for this function. Choice C, on the other hand, min a function, has too many arguments and doesn't return any results. So the correct choice here is choice D, when we use the min function to find the smallest sales. Do you have any other suggestions? Please make sure to post them in comments. Here's an interesting question to test how well you know average formula as well as its variations. Isabella is trying to calculate the average new wave sales across all the regions. Which formula should she select? You're presented with the data set as well as 4 different choices. Choice A, average formula and parameters to supply C2 through C10. Choice B, average A formula and parameters supplied are C2 through C10. Choice C, average if formula and the values are C2 through C10 and the second parameters is greater than 0. And last but not least is average if S, and then as the arguments you see the range C2 through C10, second argument is range A2 through A10, third argument is not equal to D, fourth argument B2 through B10, and the last argument is not equals to south. Take a close look to see if you can come up with the right answer. And on my end, I am going to jump to Excel to show you my version of the solution And obviously, if you have a better way to solve it, please make sure to post in comments. As you might have guessed, the correct answer is choice A. All you need to do is type the average formula and then select the data set C2 through C10 to calculate the average sales value for all the regions. What's interesting about choice B is that technically it is also a correct answer. Average A with the range C2 through C10 will also calculate the average sales, but it includes all the values in the range, even if they have text or errors. In this case, since all values in the range are numbers, the two functions, choice A and choice B, will give you the same result. What's interesting is that option C, average if with the values C2 through C10 and second parameter greater than 0, calculates the average of all sales that are greater than 0 and gives you the same result. But it's not a recommended option because the end result may not always be the same as average of all sales. And the last choice, option D, average if S with all the parameters that we supply, calculates the average sales for all products and regions, except for the product soda and except the values in the South region. This is more specific calculation than the average of all sales and does not represent the right answer. Did this question trigger some thoughts or considerations in your mind? Please make sure to share in comments so we can all learn. Here's the practice question for you to test your knowledge on your own. Which Excel formula Isabella should use to calculate average new wave sales across all regions? You're presented with the dataset that contains product category, region, and sales in thousands, and 4 possible choices. Choices A, B, C, and D. Take a close look, make sure you understand the question, and once ready, please post your answer and solution in comments so I can give you my feedback. Thanks for participating, and good luck solving the challenge. In this section, we will look at the work simulation test, which is used to evaluate candidates' ability to perform tasks and skills required for the job. The questions on this type of test typically involve simulated scenarios and tasks that are similar to what the candidate would encounter on the job, such as data analysis, customer service, and problem solving. Let's look at some sample work simulation assessment test questions to get you ready. Here's a very interesting question to determine how well you can work with others. You need to determine what is the best way to schedule a meeting with the client who is based in a different time zone and has limited availability. You need to select out of 4 possible choices. Choice A, schedule the meeting without considering the client's time zone. Choice B, email the client with several date and time options without specifying the time zone. Choice C, check the client's time zone and suggest several date and time options that work for both the client and your manager. And last but not least, choice D, schedule the meeting during your manager's preferred time slot without considering the client's availability or time zone. Take a close look to see if you can select the right answer. And I'm moving forward to share with you my version of the answer. And obviously, if you have a better way to solve it, please make sure to post in comments. I believe the correct answer here is choice C. Option C is the best choice because it takes into consideration the client's availability and time zone. There are 2 stakeholders in this action, your manager and your client. And you need to check the time zone and suggest several date and time options that work for both the client and your manager. This will ensure that the meeting is scheduled at a convenient time for both parties, and this minimizes the risk of confusion and miscommunication. Let's also look at other options to determine why they might be incorrect. Let's look at option A. It is wrong because it ignores the client's time zone, which will lead to scheduling conflicts. Option B is also incorrect because it does not specify the time zone, which can cause confusion and miscommunication. And last but not least, option D is incorrect as well because it disregards the client's availability and time zone, which can lead to scheduling conflicts and damage the company's reputation. When you solved this challenge on your own, did you come up with a different answer? If this is the case, please make sure to post your answer and solution in comments. Very frequently on the test, companies look at your customer service skills. This is one of these types of questions. You work as a CSR and need to help troubleshoot internet connectivity. What is the best approach to troubleshoot slow internet speeds for a customer? You're presented with 4 choices and you need to select one. Choice A. Ask the customer to restart their modem and transfer to technical support if issue persists. Choice B. Ask the customer to restart their computer and transfer to technical support if issue persists. Choice C. Ask the customer to check their internet connection and transfer to technical support if the issue persists. And last but not least, choice D. Walk the customer through the thorough troubleshooting process, including resetting the modem and computer, checking cables and connections, and testing the internet speeds. Take a close look to see if you can come up with the answer. If you need to pause this video, feel free to do this to reread the answers and select the correct one. On my end, I'm moving forward to share with you my version of the answer. And obviously, if you have a better way to solve it or have a different important considerations, please make sure to bring them up in comments. I believe the correct answer here is choice D. To remind you, in choice D, you would need to walk the customer through a thorough troubleshooting process, including resetting the modem and computer, checking cables and connections, and testing the internet speeds. Only this approach shows your commitment to providing excellent customer service and may even resolve the issue without need for technical support transfer. One important thing to note, the original question is kind of convoluted and it uses the acronyms. Just to clarify for you, CSR stands for Customer Service Representative. And now let's look at the incorrect choices, choices A, B, and C, to see why they are incorrect. I think those options are incorrect because they only involved asking the customer to perform a single action and then transferring them to technical support. This approach may not resolve the issue and it may result in a customer having to wait longer for the resolution. Did you come up with the different answer? If you did, please make sure to post your answer, considerations, and thought process in comments. Here's a very interesting question on how to provide recommendation to your manager for the new product line. Your manager wants you to provide a recommendation on whether to continue investing in the new product line based on your analysis of the sales data. What is the best approach to analyze the sales data and provide the recommendation? You're presented with 4 different choices. Let's look at each one of them. Choice A. Conduct a simple analysis of the sales data and provide recommendation based on initial findings. Choice B. Conduct a comprehensive analysis of the sales data, including market trends and competitor data. Provide a recommendation based on your findings. Choice C. Provide a recommendation based on personal opinion and expertise without conducting any analysis of the sales data. And last but not least, choice D. Provide a recommendation based on the sales data from a similar product line without analyzing the sales data for the new product line. Take a close look to see if you can select the correct answer. Are you ready? Ready or not, I am moving forward to share with you my version of the answer. And obviously, if you have a better way to solve it, please make sure to post in comments. I think the correct answer here is choice B. In choice B, you need to conduct a comprehensive analysis of the sales data, including market trends and competitor data. Provide a recommendation based on your findings. I think this choice is correct because it allows you to provide a thorough understanding of the sales data, ensuring more accurate and informed recommendation. Conducting a comprehensive analysis of the sales data is essential in making an informed decision for your manager. Let's also look at the incorrect choices to determine why they are incorrect. Option A is too simplistic and can get the result in an incomplete assessment of the sales data. Option C is unreliable and can be seen as unprofessional since it's based on personal opinion and experience without any supporting data. And last but not least, choice D is not recommended since it involves using sales data from a similar product line, which may not be relevant to the new product line. Was your answer different? If it was, please make sure to post your answer and solution in comments. In this section, we will look at the most common customer service test questions we typically see on the test. A customer service test is a type of assessment used by employers to evaluate candidates' customer service skills, abilities, and aptitude for dealing with customers. Customer service test assesses various aspects of customer service, such as communication skills, problem-solving abilities, empathy, and professionalism. The typical purpose of the customer service test is to determine candidates' potential for delivering high-quality customer service and their fit for a customer-facing role. This test helps employers to assess how well a candidate can handle customer interactions, resolve issues, and represent the customer in a positive manner. let's look at some sample customer service test questions we typically see on the test. Here's an interesting question to see how well you would deal with customer service inquiries. A customer is upset because her favorite pizza is currently unavailable. What is the best way to respond? And you're presented with 4 possible choices. Choice A: tell the customer to speak with the manager to resolve the issue. Choice B: offer the customer an alternative pizza option. Choice C: inform the customer that you will check if the desired pizza is in stock. And last but not least, choice D: state that handling this matter is not within your responsibility. Take a close look to see if you can come up with the answer. Are you ready? If not, please make sure to pause this video to see if you can come up with the answers, because I'm moving forward to share with you my version of the solution. And obviously, if you have a better way to resolve it, please make sure to post in comments. As you might have guessed, this question is not about picking one of the choices. This question is about fundamental customer service principles and how you use them to answer this particular question. You also want to make sure to mention all these principles when you're answering this question in person. So what are those principles? There are 4 of them. Number 1 is acknowledging the customer's disappointment. Because her favorite pizza is not available and you show empathy, this shows your understanding of her feelings. Number 2 principle is providing an immediate alternative option, which shows responsiveness and commitment to helping the customer promptly. Number 3 principle is taking responsibility for finding a solution, which exemplifies ownerships and dedication for you to help resolve customer issue. And last but not least is the principle of offering an alternative. In this case, you can offer alternative pizza, which would demonstrate a proactive approach to addressing the customer concern and finding a suitable resolution. Based on these 4 principles, let's look at the incorrect answers and why you might avoid selecting them. Choice A: tell the customer to speak with the manager to resolve the issue. Using this selection passes the responsibility to the manager and may make customer feel ignored and dismissed, and it is important to take initiative and attempt to assist the customer directly. Choice C: inform the customer that you will check if the desired pizza is in stock is a good choice. But this is not the best choice. While this response shows some willingness to help, it may leave the customer waiting for the solution. Offering an immediate alternative is a more proactive approach. And last incorrect choice is choice D: state that handling this matter is not within your responsibility. Telling the customer that it's not your responsibility can come across as unhelpful and may lead to further dissatisfaction. You should strive to assist the customer as much as possible within your capacity. So as you might have figured out, I believe that the correct answer to this question is choice B: offer an alternative pizza option. By offering an alternative pizza option, you address the customer's disappointment and demonstrate willingness to help. In addition to the suggestion, you can also offer to search for her favorite pizza flavors in competitor brands. This approach helps turn a negative situation into a positive one, where you learn more about the customer and find the proactive solution as possible suitable alternative. What do you think about this question? Do you agree with this solution? Do you have a better way to solve it? Please make sure to post your answer and rationale in comments. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate you for helping us to become one of the largest YouTube channels to help people become smarter, increase your IQ, and to pass any test. If the content of this video was helpful, please make sure to click the like button to help YouTube algorithm promote this video and help other people to find it faster. Giving us a like is also a way for you to tell us that you need more content like this, and when you tell us, we will deliver it for you in the future. For links to free and premium resources, please check the description and comments of this video. You can also go directly to our website, howtoanalyzedata.net, to download the materials related to this topic. I really appreciate your endorsement, support, and patronage of this channel. And thank you for considering to become a member and considering to subscribe. Please leave feedback, suggestions, or corrections in comments. And all the best on your journey. I'll see you in my next video.